Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of several altcoins. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. You will also find another video on my channel where I analyze Bitcoin and Ethereum daily. That's definitely worth checking out. And also worth checking out is the crypto exchange mexc, which has a higher trading volume than Bitget, OKX and Bybit. The huge difference are the taker fees. That's why probably people are going to trade a lot more on mexc at the moment, because 0.01% for opening and closing a trade is very cheap. Also, you can trade 100 pairs with zero fees just on mexc, and here you have a huge list of popular altcoins. And if you want to get another 20% discount on your taker fees, then you can use the link in the video description or my referral code if you sign up for mexc. So let's talk about XRP. So I'm still in the XRP short position. Yeah, we have tried to track here a rising wedge, which broke to the downside, but we invalidated this pattern, so I can take this one out. Not a big deal. I have found another rising wedge, which broke to the downside. So I increased my position size here as well, and we didn't invalidate it yet. Also, this can be a double top pattern, which broke to the downside. Yeah, we got a good bounce on that support, broke to the downside, retested it, and the target of that would be the $2.03.5. That is going to be interesting. I think that XRP is getting down even more. And if we break the $2.03.5 to the downside, I will put here a support trend line. If we break that also to the downside, then this huge falling wedge got invalidated as well in my view, and then I can take out the target. Yes, so XRP gave us mixed signs. I have already communicated that this falling wedge, I don't like it because we broke out. We got the retest. We didn't get a follow through. Instead, we got down into the falling wedge again and closed our candle. So I was pretty sure that this falling wedge is not going to work. Yeah, and the $2.03 is going to be a verification that we are getting a step lower. If we break the $2.03.7 to the downside, then I think $1.98 are going to be our target. If we also break that to the downside, then we can expect getting into my circle, which is within a fair value gap between $1.88 to $1.92 for XRP. Also, we already broke out of a huge rising wedge, and we didn't invalidate that pattern. For an invalidation, we need to take out those tops here into that area. Then this rising wedge would get invalidated, and the rising wedge is telling us $1.75 is going to be our target if we take the common target of a rising wedge. So I think XRP has some downside potential. Some downside potential also has Dogecoin. We have communicated that the 16.1 cents are essential to break. We got rejected there, right here. But I've also said even if we break that to the upside, that wouldn't actually invalidate the bearish scenario because we still have a bear flag. The first sign of a breakout was already here, where we got some candle closes lower than that. I think it wasn't a 1 hour candle close. It was even a 1 hour candle close. We came up again to fill here the fair value gaps. Broke then again to the downside, and then you can see with that break to the downside where we got the follow through, here was the candle close, and the candle close here is lower than the candle close where we had the first breakout. So basically we got the follow through a bit later, which isn't that bad, I would say. I think Dogecoin is short, and I'm also in a short trade for Dogecoin. It's going to be very interesting because I think we already have said here, okay, falling wedge, which is very sharp. The common target would be the 16.5 cents, but the 16.1 cents were very essential to break. to get even into that target. It didn't happen, so I personally think I can take out the target because we already hit it, most likely with the 16.1 cents. I don't think anything is going to happen on the bullish side. I think we have now the potential to get down to 15.4 cents where we have support. If we also break that to the downside, then the 14.9 cents are going to get interesting, where I have also put the circle, and that's a take profit area for me. So a bit different is Solana. Now I have to think. We had here a rectangle or a double top pattern, which didn't break to the downside. Yeah, we needed the break to the downside, the $130.5 to activate that pattern. It didn't happen, so basically we can put the breakout point. Now we can put the spread of that rectangle. Here was actually then our expected breakout point with the target into that circle, but we broke that to the upside, so we can take the same length and put it to our breakout point, which we had on the upside. And as you can see, we went perfectly into that target, so I can take this one out. What I've also thought was, okay, this here can also be a rectangle or a double top pattern. We also broke that to the upside. The target here is going to be the 149 US dollar, but I don't like to use that target, to be honest. Yeah, it can still happen that we get up there. I have also put a circle here where we had a fair value gap. We already closed, I think, 50% of that fair value gap. I can put it here. So that circle already worked. I can take this one out. So it might be possible that we even get up to the 150 US dollar. But since we saw so many breakouts to the downside, I don't think that Solana is going to be the only coin which pumps to the upside. So I'm personally looking for the 136 US dollar breaking to the downside. If they break to the downside, then this whole rising wedge would get activated, and the target here is going to be the 106 US dollar. So for Solana, it's short for me once we break the 136 US dollar to the downside. Even if we break the rising wedge to the downside a bit later, yeah, so the price would move since it's an upwards trend line. I wouldn't take the trade here. I think that I will make this support level red. I think that this red trend line is more important to break to the downside. So I will wait for the horizontal breakout $136. And then I'm going to be ready for a short trade for Solana. What about Cardano? We have said here, rising wedge, broke to the downside, but we invalidated the target, so I can take this one out. Sometimes it happens. What I also saw was another rising wedge. I use this as short entry as well, so I am in 2 short positions for Cardano as at the moment. We already hit the target of that pattern, so I also made it wide. And here the more important one, this double top pattern. If we break it to the downside, which is currently the 61.9 cents, then the target of that double top pattern would be the 60 cents. I don't see any support level at 60.3 cents. I can think maybe about this one here. This is going to get interesting, the 60 cents, which is also a psychological price mark. But if we break the 60 cents to the downside, then I think the 58.5 cents are going to get our target. And also we have a fair value gap lower than that, down to 58 cents. So it might be possible that we get maybe a bounce here, a quick sell-off to get into that fair value gap, and then a quick buy up. Yeah, this might be possible. So keep in mind that the 58.5 cents are going to be a huge major support, and if we lose that sustainable, then you can think about this huge circle here, the area between, yeah, let's say 49 cents to 44.5 cents, where we have huge fair value gaps. I doubt that we are going to go into the 64.8 cents for Cardano. This is the target of that falling wedge, which we broke to the upside, which we retested it. But we also have said we need a sustainable breakout over 63 cents. We got even one. Yeah, it wasn't sustainable, but we got the breakout even with an retest included. I can show you that here. Here was the breakout candle. Here was the retest, but we missed the follow through. And the follow through would have made it sustainable. What about render? Render is far too bullish in my view. But still, I think we are slowly topping out. I have tracked here in blue a rising wedge, which even broke to the upside. Yeah, it's a bearish pattern. We broke it to the upside, so it's not short. We got even a step higher. Okay. Then I have tracked another rising wedge, which also broke to the upside. And here was a circle where I've said, here is a fair value gap. We also close it, so I can take this one out. I would still look for breakouts to the downside. And I think the first breakout would be getting back into the rising wedge, which is the $4.19. There I would try my first short trade for render. Like not the first one. I was short a bit earlier. But here I would increase my position size for render to get my average short price a bit more up and also have more position size into the trade. And if we then break the other blue trend line to the downside, which would be then the $3.80 at the moment, but since it's an upwards trend line, we can also break that to the downside a bit later, then I would be short for render. We have also tracked here a rectangle. It broke to the upside, so basically render has still space a bit more, but I think it's not going to happen. I can also take this one out because this pattern got invalidated in my view. So what about ONDO? ONDO also falling wedge, broke to the upside, didn't happen much. I have put now another trend line, which I used for short entry, another one. So in the end of the day, I think that we are going to meet the area 77 cents, where I've put also the circle. I think this is going to happen with a higher chance, because we also have a huge fair value gap there. If we break the round about 77 cents to the downside, let's say 76 cents, then we need to take a look for a major push to the downside. It can even go down to 63 cents, where we have then another low for ONDO. I don't see anything bullish. The 85 cents could have been bullish. We broke to the upside. We got the retest, but we missed the follow through, so it's not sustainable for me. Instead, we broke to the downside and got those major red candles. So I think ONDO is also short. I doubt that we are getting a retest and then sell off again. Yeah, I think we are just going to get maybe a small bounce and then continue selling off. So what about SUI? I have also tracked here. Where is it? Here. This could be a rectangle. And within that rectangle, I have seen a panel. This panel broke to the downside. If we break the $2.09.6 to the downside, then the target would be $2.02 of that rectangle. But we also have support at $2.05. So once we get to $2.05, I can take out a bit of my trade. And if we break that to the downside, then I think this small circle here is going to get my take profit, where I want to leave the SUI trade with 100%. Yeah, I don't want to be in a SUI trade once we get into that area anymore. So I want to watch there what is going to happen. If we break that to the downside, which is the $1.99, put here, price mark, then I will look for other short positions. Yeah, we'll see for some other patterns. But if we get here a bounce, then I can even look for long positions. And I'm trying to find one. I will just keep that trend line there. I'm not going to use it as long entry. If I will do, then I will set a green trend line there. But yeah, it's just for an orientation now. So what I want to see is getting into that fair value gap, getting a major push to the to the upside, and then we have to see if we break it to the upside then, or if we break it to the downside. That is my plan for SUI. So take profits are already set for SUI. What about HBAR? Falling wedge, broke to the upside. Target is the 16.85 cents of that falling wedge. We also say we have to take profits a bit earlier because other people are going to see that as well. And they are going to take profits a bit earlier. And if too many people taking profits before the 16.8 cents, then we are not getting 100% there. So as you can see, we missed a little bit to get there. So this was a valid one, which also worked, this chart pattern. Perfect. What I have tracked here is rising wedge, broke to the downside. We got the retest. We went up again, but in my view, we haven't really invalidated it. Instead, we have built up another bearish pattern, which is a double top pattern, which broke to the downside. And the target is going to be the roundabout 16 cents, where we also have here on your left, 16 cents support. If we lose the 16 cents, then we can think about getting lower prices. I would even say down to 15.5 cents. So that's going to be very interesting. So as you can see, I was probably a few days too early with my short positions. As you can see, some were in losses. I have increased my position size while I have seen other patterns. There are some positions of mine are in losses, for example render, and others are already in good profit. So I think that we have some space to the downside. I personally hope that it's going to be a higher low. If we see a higher low, then we can place our trades into the long side later. If we don't hold a higher low, that's what I think, then we have to think about new lows for all the altcoins and also for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that is going to be interesting. Also keep in mind tomorrow the exchanges are still closed, so we have to wait for Tuesday. On Tuesday we have to see, maybe it's going to get decided where we are heading to. So thank you for watching and see you maybe if something big happens later, or if nothing happens and we are going more sidewards or into my target areas, then we see each other tomorrow.